this. No, right, it says up and coming. It's not upcoming. It should be live now. There it is. Travel link. I wonder if there's a way to just automate this. That would be so handy dandy. We do this, and then it's at stream. Oh, at stream spectators. There we go. Challenge. Turns, and then chilling. Viewer. Nice. There we go. So high tech. Sending the ping out and everything. Should be working. 3 whole turns, one of which is going to be probably pretty short. Hey, Math Blitz. Aren't I high tech now? I get to send out a ping and everything. I think this person sent a message. I'm scared. You'll do great. I don't know squat about high funds. Okay. My turn 1 recon. I'll definitely finish that capture. I'm pretty sure as Sturm, you can indeed just take their lab with APC and then a constant stream of recons to block. Hey, Shadow. But that's no fun. Just kind of wiggle our way down there. So I think I get a transport copter now. And then I can double recon next turn. So I can go transport copter, inventory. And then next turn I'll have 8,000, which is enough for double recon. So that's not so bad going to recon first. It is self-proclaimed. It's just been widely accepted. Hey! Purple Pants has joined in the proclamation. All right. It's sure widely proclaimed. Originally, it was just me, but no longer. Zoom out a bit. Looks like he's really moving in on the fight over here, even though I got the vehicles. And he tickled my anti-air. You recognize it, but they're defiant nonetheless. Oh, hi. Hey, Meep. We're doing well. So watching this replay here. He's trying to crack the shield, but my power is up. It's impenetrable. I would not go for this attack if I was him. Yeah, he loses 3 health on his tank, and my 8 health anti-air is still going to be just as good. Pretty much. It's trapped. Infantry hiding in the forest. Very sneaky medium tank. That could have just killed my anti-air. Because it being in the forest is still in line or in range of my artillery. So, I don't know. Probably should have just killed the anti-air and taken the road shot. Don't mind me. Yeah. Lots of infantry over here. Of course, Jess does not like infantry battles, but luckily this is not just an infantry battle for me. I do have vehicles over there. I will complete this capture. I think we reveal the medium tank with this guy. It's a 4 health infantry. Hi. Here, take a shot. Pow. And then I could try and harass it with some tanks, but I feel like that's not needed. What does this even cover? Oh, I think we just kill this. I'm going to go here. So next turn I can go for that. Wait, that's right. He has an infantry in this forest. Okay. That's fine. He might still have vision, but I'm defended by this artillery. Yeah, the Jake Super is going to be brutal. Didn't I tell this guy to attack? Get him. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, that's a roll. I'm willing to go for it. Aww. Very awkward trying to get to the city with this guy. I think we'll just walk like this. Rolling. Oh, I think we fall back with the anti-air, right? Or though, maybe I'd sit here with it, so he can't sit next to my artillery and shoot my tank. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You always struggle to know what's happening in fog matches? That's fair. I think it takes a lot of practice. Alright, well, we will sit here just to be annoying. Because I do have the backup coming anyway. I think I'll just take him out from my city. And how do I want to deal with this stuff? Or about something like tank, copter, infantry comes over here. Yeah. Or maybe it wasn't right. Because I should have had the infantry strike here and then the coppers hit in the city or something. Ah, never punished. And then I think we go hide in this forest. You can sit on the city and strike this guy. Look at all those infantry. And then we can join this little wall here. Start capping that. Everyone. There is a lot of freedom in Advanced Wars by Web, yeah. Most people, when they're learning the game, they just learn tactics to start out. Yeah, what you gonna do? You can't reach me with any of these guys. You can't even kill this 1 health infantry without either killing this copter. Well, actually, I guess he could, right? He could go down here to reveal it, then kill it, and then like a tank from here could come and interrupt me. It's not very likely. But most people start out just learning tactics, and then strategy comes later. I think that's fine. That way, if he somehow sees that guy and he like supers over here, he has to hit from the road and the artillery can still shoot him, so it's fine. I mean, I'm so far ahead at this point. Positioning doesn't really matter. 14 kills to 7 deaths. I've killed 3 tanks, a battlecopter, 10 infantry. Only lost 4 infantry, a mech, and 2 recons. This is pretty much all he's got. Yeah, just playing for fun's fine too. I mean, I play for fun, of course. Yeah, I have enough for triple tank, and you know what? I like that. Triple tank, very flexible. You're pretty much anywhere. Be good. In the evening. We'll see what this super does. He's going to have a bit of trouble dealing with this artillery. He has an infantry here that he could reveal it and then hurt it a little bit with his, well, probably a lot with the 6 health medium tank. But I don't know what much follow-up he'd have besides that. You could have 1 tank over here, I guess. Kill 1 thing. I mean, we can see. How much damage are you going to do to this poor artillery? Super. 1 comm tower. It's going to live at 2. Still a lot of damage, though. Your bottom side is definitely stronger, yeah. You have the 2 bases. It's just I'm fighting farther away. Pretty soon I'm going to have to stop vehicle production up here and get some more infantry. Or just bring infantry up and send this APC down and pick up some more. He built a lot of vehicles down here. So he should just have basically nothing but infantry up here for quite a while. Well, yeah, I started building stuff up here because I want to win up here too. I'm already winning down here. I don't need to send more stuff. I might even send some of these tanks up. The 6 cities. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one's sort of contested. 10. These ones, I mean, they're contested. They're not as contested as these other ones. I mean, they're the first to fall in the middle. Depends on where you try and push. If you're trying to push into the base, then yeah, these ones are the most contested. If you're trying to push for their comm tower, then these ones become the most contested. All right, what's going on in this game? Notice that my comm tower, my copter, managed to survive the turn. How did he see me? Did I already know he had a recon in these woods? Did I just like forget there's a recon in those woods or something? I'm not seeing anything into those woods. Is that like a turn earlier than that? Infantry in the woods. Mountain infantry has vision. This one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No? It almost has vision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it doesn't see me. Oh, this one. Oh gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Well, then I shouldn't have gotten in that city. Cost me my injured infantry. Is he just gonna let me take his city? He's just gonna let me take his city. Not this one, but this middle one. My little trap worked over here, though. He was forced to attack me from the road in range of my tank. Very nice. Okay, well, he's sending his vehicles here, so he doesn't have anything over here. So, we definitely do. Whoop. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can't. Okay, so we strike from over here, so you can't get a 2-hit on me. Oh, but I should have gone from the other side so my tank doesn't have to, or my copter wouldn't have to be on the city. Although I could probably take this out with infantry. Let's just take that out with infantry. I mean, I would finish this off with my copter. But I thought I could like hit it from the other sides, but I don't want to hit it from the city with my copter. Because he'll just use his power. I will take his city though. Surprised he let me take that. Take that city too. Stop this city. Take that city. My copter has 1 ammo. Oh, the 2 health tank. Oh. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see once I start looking at this. Because the 2 health tank, I was kind of looking at his other AA. I could like sack into it. I think I do that. Because this copter has only 1 ammo left, right? So I might as well use it in a bold display. And the 2 health can finish it off. I think, I mean, I guess I can try and pester infantry with this, but I don't think it would go very well. So we will go for our sacrificial play here. Aw, he lives with 1 hit. And then we'll have the infantry go after this guy. There's no animation, he just died. And then I think we'll just pick on... I should have checked for something in these forests. Little infantry fights here. Tempting to go here and take the swing, even though it gives him a attack from the city. Got a really annoying wall for him to deal with if he wants to hit my tank. This recon's looking 10 fuel left. I think we'll just clear everything out up here. Could go for that. I just don't want to get my recon hit by an urban blight when it's at 5. It goes down to 3, and then I repair it to 4. It's bleh. I will, however, bring my tanks down here like this. Make sure they're blocking off access to the property. You just haven't. Look how mean this is. All of the like optimal movement patterns all end on a property. Well, I'm not doing that. Let's just scout. It's done enough. It has done a lot. I think we take this guy out, right? Yeah. Oh, get rid of some vision. Also, more importantly, getting rid of almost all of his presence in the corners. And he's got some good stuff in the middle, but I have a lot of backup. Question is what I do with this guy. He's kind of good just sitting on the mountain. Getting a first strike here does mean he dies. It's probably not worth it, because from this mountain he does reach this city to interrupt it. One, two, three, four, five, six. Well, we can't do that. Fine, we can try and retire him. Should check to see if there was anyone in there. Got 2 fuel. His only hope would be an APC making it all the way over to him. Otherwise, he's going to sit there until an infantry runs into him. He's done a good job. He's given me some good vision. Which I think means I need another recon. I don't need another recon. I'd like another recon. We'll go copter, infantry. Oh yeah, I'm with you. We got some great goals for you over here, buddy. And to use my power, you can run over and sit on this property. Yeah, we will just keep going. It's either that or go into the forest. They both have their uses, their plays. Stats are looking pretty good. But I guess more importantly, I'm going to have complete control of the corners and the center, which is really hard to deal with. The burbs concur. You want me to go transport copter? I don't think I need a transport copter, right? I already have so many infantry on the front lines. Unless I was gonna get some mechs. I mean, there are some great mech spots with these mountains and these forests. Look at that. You drop your mech off on this mountain, it moves to this forest, it moves to this mountain, it moves to this forest. But that's that. He's got, what, a 6 health infantry in this forest, I think? As well as now an 8 health infantry on this city. And everything else he has is right here in the middle. I don't think I've seen a copter out of him yet. But this was a good demonstration of why in Fog you don't rush like contested properties like that, because the other player can just come over with an army and take it, and that's just because the other player is getting more income a little bit sooner than you are, so they can have more stuff. The birds agreed. In standard, you can anticipate it coming much easier. Turn the music down a little bit, so high. Is he only making 17 at KH? I thought he was making more. I can check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You're right. But he was making... He used to have this property, so he was making 18. He has them doing repairs. Just a little bit, though. All right, I'll switch over to the replays. If anyone has any replays they'd like me to cover, you can of course send it to me on the Discord. You're good at counting purple things. I got a new little screen for the transition. So fancy, right? Meme review. What? Isn't meme review? That's I've never done that kind of thing. Pain. Okay. I don't know what the outcome of this game is. I saw it was completed recently. My good friend 4242. Okay. I'll do that one next. And I liked this matchup between Sturm and Hawk. It brings me back to the good old days of fighting Hogat, as he was a big Hawk fan, and I was a big Sturm fan for tier 1. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. And away we go. You know what? I'm gonna turn our hero here, the Cobalt Ice. Which is a pretty fun feature of this replay system. So far, the openings are making a lot of sense to me. Not going for the airport first, it's a little iffy. Well, I mean, it just means you're not going for the transport copter opening. I like the transport copter opening on this map. I feel like it's really strong. But you can always go for a delayed one. That's also fine. Maruf, the Sturm player, isn't going for it at all. I guess it's probably not as good for Sturm. Or against Sturm, maybe. Just because, yeah, he can do stuff like that with his recons. Yeah, I guess it makes sense to not go for the transport copter opening. I wouldn't go for double recon, though. I would definitely go for tanks against Sturm. I also would never, ever, 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 ever place an infantry next to a city like that against Sturm in the opening. Because, I mean, that's going to happen. Guaranteed. If I was Sturm, I wouldn't even get a tank now. I'd probably just get more recons. Or artillery. But if our good friend 42 had built tanks instead of these 2 recons, he could have potentially punished this. So recons aren't going to be that scary against Sturm. Depending on where this tank goes. Ooh. 42's going to luck out here. Sturm is great. He's also really good on this map. It's not hard at all for him to harass you away from your comm tower, and then if he gets both comm towers, then he's a super Sturm. This recon did get some play though, that's just good. You can see Sturm's recon is already getting some pretty big value, and gets to get even more. Yeah, it's just really hard to deal with. I don't know how far along that that property was at 16 complete. I would not have sent my recon in like that. I mean, it's gonna be fine. Guys, you're overloading the only tank that would be back there. You probably wait for him to either move off or go after this guy. Nah, it's fine to go after that guy. It's fine. For Sturm, yeah, I think you should definitely split up the recons at Sturm. Because you know they're going to be trying to counter you. And the advantage you're going to have is that you'll just be hitting too many places. And it's not so much that you want to kill off the infantry, you just want to slow down their economy. You can see how bulky Sturm recons are when they're on cities like that. That was a 9 health recon, only took 5 damage. It looks like Sturm doesn't watch the replays. He definitely should have known that there was an infantry in there. It's very weird. He has no support at all for these guys. There's like this huge gulf. He just wants to go for this comm tower. Like really, really, really badly. But this is now hugely vulnerable. Yeah. All right, Sturm. You're gonna have to see what you can get going for yourself as counterplay over here. I've been liking some of this early recon stuff. I would have liked some more recons so that there wouldn't be all of these captures going off. This is a good attack. Again, if there was if that artillery was a recon built, it would have been able to come over and hit this artillery. Having 8 movement that can go anywhere is it's really good. But because of not having enough presence in the harassment on this corner, and then not enough support up here, you can see that even though Sturm's doing really well in unit value from the harassment, he's actually not way ahead in economy like you'd think. So the weakness of doing this like all in on this one side is that you're investing a lot more than your opponent has to and gaining the exact same amount. Like they're gonna win this side from you, you're gonna win this side from them, but you had to invest a lot more. So they're just going to come out ahead in that regard. So when you're trying to win a side like that, you kind of want to win it with just the perfect amount of stuff, because all the extra stuff doesn't matter. Hey, Arya. And then you can't trickle stuff in over here. Kind of want to move your stuff in as a force into an established area. It's going to be kind of okay over here because this anti-air wasn't actually in range to punish this. I do like Sturm rockets on this map. There's many excellent forests that rockets can sit in, and they also get there really quickly. 1, 2, just 2 turns to that forest, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, middle forest, just like that. There's definitely overprotection. Also, an attack I probably would not go for is 42. If you've seen like that there's nothing over here and there's a ton of stuff over here, then I wouldn't want to enter into a brawl like this. Just kind of let them take the city. And keep your tanks back a little bit until you have enough reinforcements to punish him as he overextends into you. But everything that's happening over here is really good. Just need like a little bit more health on, like one more healthy infantry over here would be really good. Ooh, just going to charging in. Sturm has so much stuff. This is going to get really... so much stuff kind of just sitting around back here. It's going to look very bad once the Hawk power comes into play. Kind of interesting because both players have like anti-death ball supers. Although this formation against Sturm would be disastrous. Ooh, I love that was a really good join cap. Because it's setting it down to 10 required, and assuming Hawk gets his super next turn, he'll heal up to 10 and get the city. Which means that next turn he has extra pressure on himself to really engage. Oh, looks like Sturm is mostly front switching, leaving a little bit of stuff over here to like try and deny cities, I think. And a big front switch going for this tower. Ah, see? 42's being smart, not finishing this, not doing the capture command. Recognizing that you can heal for 2, and then, oh, never mind. Decided that he wasn't gonna get the power this turn, but he was delaying it. Folk. It doesn't look like he tried to misdirect that. I guess as Hawk with a super ready, it's not super super again. It's not super important that you misdirect the 4 damage rock, because you'll just heal half of it back immediately, like so. How big of a value swing is that? Is that 106,000 to 152,000? Is 115,000 to 121,000? So he was behind by like 50,000, and now he's behind by 6,000. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good swing. And still doing pretty much equal in unit count, which is very good for Hawk. And of course, all these cities are now massively under threat because the entire army did a front switch up top. And the remnants were not enough to actually hold the line. Oh, I get stuck in this kind of thing too. What's happening is he's going up with his big old front switch, and he's like, oh no, I need to go back. So his army is just kind of pinballing around in the center of the map. That's something I often run into. Oh, now here comes a transport copter. I don't know about the head-on assault like this. I understand the purpose. It's like I'm gonna try and weaken you so you can't actually stop me from taking your comm tower. But there's a lot to just kind of slam into. I imagine, yeah, the punish will be pretty rough. Well, it could have been a lot worse, I think. He is still going to get artillery shots off on the Neo tank. And he could even do his normal power this turn. For some pretty good damage. Which we'll see if it looks like he doesn't want to do that. That's okay. It ended up. I thought he was. He actually did get interrupted, but he didn't. He got the comm tower. Wow. Well, now this is really bad for Sturm. Yeah. Hey, look at that. He actually did it this time. He magneted the meteor away. The classic double medium tank. A pretty reliable way to just magnet away a missile power. It's a pretty good hit, but now he's not even that far behind in unit value right now, and he's almost at a super. So I imagine once the super goes off, he's gonna just skyrocket ahead. I'm guessing it's going to be next turn. Ooh. Definitely don't want to chase into the super. At the same time, I understand why. It's because you don't have your comm towers. The comm tower Sturm, so you're feeling a lot of pressure to get it back. But yeah. He can kind of just stop you like that pretty easily. Although there wasn't that much punish down here, so I think that's okay. It kind of worked out. I'm wondering if the rest of the game is just gonna revolve around this comm tower. Every day. We'll see. If it's just for like a couple hours or so, I could probably try and squeeze it in. Ooh, very nice. Okay, at this point, I feel like Hawk is pretty much won. He's got both corners, both comm towers, and way ahead in value. And Hawk's power scales a lot better than Sturm's does. Oh no! Is the stream lagging for anyone else? Or is it just for Raphael? I don't think I'm dropping any frames. Doesn't look like it. Just Raphael. Okay, okay. Make me super grainy, Raphael. Lower the quality. That's kind of gutsy, knowingly placing yourself in rocket range, although, I don't know. Rocket and artillery range? Very good with all... After that first one, 42 has just been on top of magneting these meteors. But that hurts, getting double shot like that by indirects. Although I think at this point it doesn't super matter when you're 4K ahead with 2 comm towers. You can definitely afford to take hits like that, especially if you have a really good circular punish like that. Yeah. At this point, yeah, a resign is definitely warranted. That was a very well played game by 42, and I liked Sturm's opener. I would have, of course, liked even more recons, but I do think that was some really good damage that was done with them. It was mostly just the mid game that really did them in. Nice. Okay, I have another one that was sent to me. Let's download it. Grim Mirror. Group stage. Tier 0. Well, I don't know what these numbers mean. Is this season 7 to 31? Tier 0? Tier 0 being Grim? I like this map on the replay. It fits very well. Yeah, you can at me on the Discord, and I'll look for them after this game. You knew Grim was OP. Grim's been OP this whole time. Hey, Darren. He is tier 0 for hype, so maybe that's what it's about. Math Blitz against Kampai. These are both 2 very good Fog players. Kampai has also a lot of experience in Standard. I have no idea what Math Blitz's Standard experience is. We're about to find out. Kampai is very handily already the Penguins. Straight for the airport. I would love to see... Also straight for the airport over here. I want to see transport copter openings with mechs or something. That would be incredibly gutsy as Grim in Standard. Okay, this is kind of a weird map. Oh, is this for the semifinals or whatever? He jumped ship for Fog in April. Oh, you have a lot of standard experience then already. Okay. Kampai is, of course, being a coward and building a tank first. Let's look at what he should have built instead. He has 10,000. That's definitely double recon. That's just easy double recon. Send one up, send one bottom, kill all the infantry. It's good. No. I mean, it's probably good, but it's probably too late to do that. Here we go. Math Blitz goes for a battle copter. A great answer to a tank. Already getting a hit in unit count because of that. Has the funds for double recon, but just goes tank infantry. I guess he's fine going to tank infantry because he's going to have 9,000 next turn, so he's going to be able to go anti-air infantry. That's true. One copter and one infantry was also possible. That wouldn't fall behind in unit count. It just looks weird having the open base. Now, a big brain move that Math Blitz sadly can't do is if he was able to hit like one of these infantry that was on a city, so that the repair cost would force Kampai to have to base skip if he wanted to build an anti-air. Unfortunately, doesn't have anything in range, probably because he didn't build any recons either. Although double recon at this point is probably really, really bad. Well, maybe not that bad. Because you do have the copter to support them against the tanks. Hey, Ghost? Question mark? I'm assuming that's supposed to be the underscore is instead of an O. Hi. Ooh. I thought for a second there that this infantry was going to go in and hit this tank. No. Just making a little wall here. And then giving a lot of respect over here. I'm not sure why this infantry went backwards. There's nothing threatening it. Now he's not threatening to capture this city. He's just kind of giving up a threat by doing that. Not that you would be able to capture the city because there's all these infantry, but it's still good to have the threat to do it. Okay. Lots of just Grim being scared of Grim stuff right now. Now, when you're fighting Grim, or when you're fighting as Grim, you usually want to have these staggered walls, or gap walls, whatever they're called, where you have your infantry ahead of your tanks. So your infantry are kind of pressuring the opponent, but if they break through your infantry, they don't get a lot of hits on your vehicles. And if they go for your infantry, then your vehicles can hit them. You don't have as much pressure with it because your vehicles can't strike as far in front of your infantry wall, but it's a lot safer for Grim and gives him more opportunities for vehicle first strikes if they go in on his infantry wall. And I can only imagine you want that even more so in the Grim Mirror in Standard. Boldly's just standing on properties in his forest, I guess. I'd probably be a little more gutsy with this tank. But that's okay. Looks like he's kind of doing it again. Doesn't look like, well, if Kampai does a little front switch up, he could clear this and have a tank come in and hit this tank. But I don't think it's quite worth it. He doesn't quite have enough stuff around to make the attack hit as hard as he'd like. Hey, Flaming Dragon, that's great. Humble Roger. 1200's a great milestone. Once you break out of the 1100s, you tend to just like skyrocket because there's a lot of people in the 1100s and you kind of feed off of them. Oh, interesting. Math Blitz did not kill off this infantry. Just kind of decides to fall back. I guess that's because he's also shifting down here. So I'll fall back here, shift down here. Just try and outposition Kampai. They're both battling over these very contested cities. I'm telling you, you get up to 1100-ish level, you're just like purely on your tactics. And then eventually you're just like, all I'm doing is moving units around the board and fighting. And then eventually, once you've done that enough, you start to learn like strategy and mind games and traps and tricks and everything that higher level players use to actually win the game. And then just pretty much everyone at the higher level knows tactics and just do all the tactics in their sleep. Yeah. That's the beginner good player thing. It's just tactics. I can get this 2-hit KO and then this little wall. Ooh, that was a sacrifice? Oh, I like it. Is it a sacrifice to get the power? I don't think he needed to. Yeah, he only needs 6. No. He needs 1,200. Interesting. I feel like there was better ways to do it, but we'll see what he does. He does get some really good hits here. But I feel like he could have just done this copter attack anyway and kept his 2 health tank alive. Isn't that right? Is it because he wanted this penguin to have the attack boost? Or he could have used the copter to hit this 9 health tank. Yeah. I don't think the sacrifice was worth it, question mark? Maybe he needed to clear this, and the sacrifice was the only way. No, he didn't need to clear that. Yeah, I don't know. It was still a good play. I don't think it was needed. Yeah. Honestly, it takes a long time before people learn how to like make their own openings. Like a long time. Ooh, Math Blitz resigned. Well, if Math Blitz resigned from the attack, then it was definitely a good attack. I don't think... I mean, I'm looking at the stats here. It doesn't look like a resigned situation. You're not that far behind value-wise. Ahead in economy. A tiny bit behind by like 1 unit in unit count. and you have the power advantage. You're gonna die to his copters, but he's not threatening anything right now. You can back up. You're threatening stuff down here. Well, it's like, because you're ahead in economy, you're not that far behind in value or units, but you have like this huge power advantage going for you, and you were kind of pressed into his area. You can probably fall back and still play very well. You're even ahead in tanks, even though one of your tanks is 1 health, but one of his tanks has 2 health, so he's got 1 copter above you, or 2 copters, 1 just built. It seems fine to me. I mean, he's going to get what? This property? He's not going to be able to take this property. You can probably get this property. Like, look how far back he is. You just back up a bit. And then he's under a huge threat because he's going to have, like, he exactly got his power. So he's going to have no charge. And you are like almost at your super. So you can use that to pressure him. And his play did look really intimidating. So I do understand resigning sometimes when stuff like that happens. Because, like, look at how far ahead you are when he uses his power. So even though he hits you hard, it's like, it's fine. You had the advantage to give. Yeah, losing the A, I can understand that. Losing the A would make you lose heart. I mean, he had a nice sacrificial play there. Got some good damage. It looks intimidating. But just looking at the board state, I think it's fine. It's just a fallback, maybe kill this tank. I don't know if you can kill the tank. You might have to let it live. He has 2 copters covering it. Yeah, this is fine. Fire everywhere. Exactly. All right, I've got a few games. To review here. I'll look at when they were sent to decide what I do first. Looks like this one's the first. Drag that on here. Okay. We've got good old Disobeyed. This is the person that was who made that mixed base map. Beat up my Drake and Sasha. And I might be playing a War Groove game against them on Friday on the stream. That'll be cool. For now, we're going to watch their Kindle against Rachel, DMC 26. So we will turn our hero to the Penguins. Make sure they're facing the right. Okay. Hey, Sturm, right? The challenge turns actually went really well. I would not be surprised if I'm about to get 2 more victories in Fog. So already there's like a really big choice to make as player 1 on this turn 2. You can either send this infantry into this black boat and drop it off so it's in range to capture the base next turn, or you can send this infantry over here to capture the base. The difference is going to be which front you want to be a turn ahead on and have a natural advantage on against player 2. So usually I would suggest being ahead on this front because there's much more pressure to exert going straight down like this. While this front has very close things to defend in the middle, and then it's like super windy to get vehicles around this to try and exert pressure. So usually you're just defending with infantry in this short range anyway. So I think player 1 is often more advantaged to take this as the advantaged front, the first player front. That's just a personal thing though. You can of course play it either way. It's fine. This would be having this one be the priority front would be more important if you're doing like a recon opener, which is what I usually do on this map. As you can tell, there's some very nice roads to take for recon paths to harass infantry. Oh, interesting, skipping this harbor. This is a very expensive skip. This is a double skip. I don't think I would do a double skip this early. Like, against, just on this map in general. Because if recon pressure comes out, you're going to be in huge trouble. Of course, I'm just always worried about recon pressure on this map because they're so strong. There's a lot of spots that recons can sit, like right here. You can build it and then have it sit immediately right here. And it's threatening 2 fronts where infantry are capturing. It threatens the middle and it threatens this side. And for down here, it's sitting here with the recon. And that's just a ton of pressure. There's also a build here where for player 2, they go here and they complete the capture of this city and then go onto the base. And that lets them get a tank a turn earlier. Well, looks like we're just going to have simple tank pressure. If you're going to build the tank on this side like this, then definitely you want to do the black boat movement. Just because it's easier for them to respond if you've got less infantry. Because if you use this city, this front, this base to get the neutral base, then you have 1 more infantry from here out on the field to support your tank pressure. Or having another infantry on the field over here isn't going to do much for you. This is kind of just giving an infantry away. Well, not really giving away. It's going to hit back pretty well. But you're not going to be able to take that comm tower. Because they'll just come and sit in the forest and hit you, and you have nothing around to support it while they have stuff coming. So I'd much rather if this infantry went to here. So it's also threatening. Well, it doesn't even need to threaten to... Well, it's still threatening to take the comm tower, but it's not threatening to deny it because they're not actually in range of taking it. But it then has opportunities to go for these other cities. Because if you see in this situation, he hits you, and then he has follow-up. Well, your follow-up is still a ways away. But he did go for a black boat. He makes a mistake of loading the infantry into the black boat this turn, but it should be perfectly fine if he's building a vehicle here. Okay, well, if he's building an infantry here, he shouldn't load the infantry into this black boat. Just put it here, march it up here, and load another. Of course, he can't afford to build a vehicle. He built a black boat. So you're just kind of losing a turn of progress on the infantry on the front by doing that. Oh, interesting. I thought this was going to wrap around to help support this fight over here, but it looks like it's getting down towards the middle. but just a tiny bit. That seems really dangerous to me. Now this front is completely unsupported, and this artillery isn't actually doing anything here, and is trying to break this pipe seam maybe. I guess it's protecting the 6 health infantry now. It's a very well protected 6 health infantry. It's got a tank and an artillery covering it. So I do like what happened over here though, which I missed. Let's go back for it. This is a nice 2-hit KO. This is a mistake on your opponent's part. They should have abandoned the comm tower, or the comm tower capture probably, because as we see here, they just donate you an infantry, and then you're just going to take the comm tower from them. Yeah, Starbright. Yeah, there's an island here with a comm tower and a harbor, and the black boat isn't awful. You can pick up like mechs and drop them off on this mountain up here and stuff. But usually people just get a transport copter from this airport and fly stuff over. So right now it's looking like our hero is doing really well on this side. Kind of a tiny bit behind in the middle, but we'll probably just end up going even. And then depending on how DMC plays this out, they'll do really well. Our hero will be hurting on this side. Looks like DMC is playing kind of skittishy. Usually if you have an advantage like this, like 4-2 in infantry count, you kind of want to really press it. I do like the recon buy. I think recons are, of course, very strong in this map. I guess I can only go here. That still threatens both. For some reason, I thought I could sit here. That might have been a different version of this map. This map used to have a different name and slightly different version. They've now changed. I'm not sure what's going on over here. So right now this is accomplishing nothing other than denying your own, I guess, contesting your own city. Battlecopters are very good on this map, so I'm happy to see this being built. Much like how the recon can sit here or here and threaten both sides. Copters in the middle threaten the middle. They can go over these mountains to threaten this side, and they can go over to this side. Oh, he's been shooting the pipe. Okay. This is a decent pipe to break because it allows this factory base to immediately reinforce this side. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a really early pipe seam break. But yeah, that's definitely a play to go for. It can be really good if you have like a copter lined up as well. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's down to 4 health, so definitely going for that. This is just a little ball. This is a very odd one. I guess he's protecting the artillery that's covering the capping infantry. But if I guess Kindle didn't build a tank last turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. Oh, just going in. Well, if you're going in, then you might as well go in and have the 6 health infantry sit on the city and use your attack bonus to hit this guy. Like, you don't, this is at 4 health, you don't care. Okay, it's probably dead now, actually. You don't really care if he hits your artillery. You've got tank to cover it. Okay, I mean, it's a little nasty, but it's kind of okay. It's a somewhat even trade. Because you're also doing really well on the sides. We went for the Transmorcopter, which is good. It's a little bit slower than this black boat. But cheaper. And you get at a more affordable time of the game. This looks pretty vulnerable to me. Because he can just... This tank's kind of blocking it. Or, no, I guess he can, like... Like, he wants to have the tank hit this artillery, and then he wants the anti-air to kill your copter wherever your copter goes. Okay, your copter just sits there. So... Guess he can't quite do it, can he? Maybe? He can go over here with this infantry to kill this, and then the tank hits the artillery. This artillery kills this infantry. And then recon goes here. But then he can't quite kill this one, maybe? Yeah, because this won't roll up to an 8. He might be able to finagle something that I'm just not seeing. Yeah, I've got a doggo. This looks very sketchy to me. It looks very breakable. But I'm not immediately seeing how it can be broken easily. We'll see if DMC figured something out. He did go for that. He went for that. Then he retreated with the other stuff. Okay. That's fine. I mean, it's a lot. Well, it's not really that fine. Because look at all this stuff around this city. Kindle's so close to the power. Ooh. I think if I'm Kindle here, like, I don't care about this copter harassing these guys over here or whatever. There's like such a juicy attack over here. Maybe you don't actually need the anti-air for it. Yeah. The center army is about to get wiped. Oh, don't do that though. Don't attack until you use the power, because you want to clear the city. And like, I'm not sure if 1, 2 full health. Well, definitely with the artillery. If you use the power first, artillery 1, 2 full health would no doubt kill this, and then you can kill the tank or the artillery in one shot. Probably the artillery with one shot, and then the copter hits this tank. But now that's not possible because you body block yourself. I mean, it's still looking decent. It's just not nearly as good as this being dead, or not, well, almost dead, and this being dead. Because then that would be basically immediate game over. Very valuable Kindle power, though. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles that are all going to take repair money, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry, 3 of which are involved in captures, although one was already interrupted. It was still possible to get the kill even with the body block. It was still possible to kill this tank. Yeah. But you wouldn't be able to kill the artillery, right? Oh, because this guy can reach. Oh, I didn't even see that guy. No, you're right. Yeah, you could move this back. Copter, tank. Infantry comes in, finishes this off. This tank comes on, kills the artillery. Yeah. And that way, you'd even be blocking against this 4 health artillery or anti-air trying to hit you. I think it's still tons of damage though. Regardless. But there is the possibility that Rachel could come back in this situation if she's able to generate enough power and then retreat the units here and then like 3 missiles. Just bam, bam, bam. This looks like they'd all hit here. But just not quite enough. Ooh, could have done it though. Could have done it. Because there's always this copter sacrifice into this anti-air. Could have done a super this turn. Or a big ol' wham wham bam bam. Would have been good. And now, since there's gonna be a turn for Kindle to like spread out the forces and make a magnet and stuff. Maybe not. Okay, well, against Rachel, you definitely don't want to group up your stuff. So I imagine we're about to see a bunch of missiles hit here. Maybe down. No, the infantry one will hit down here because there's a capping infantry. And for the infantry missile, capping infantry count double. It is lower. We'd have to count all the infantry, but basically the way it works is the missiles scan left to right, top to bottom. So if there's ever a tie break situation, the location wins the tie break. So if it's further down than this, that there's the chance it won't hit there. But you have to keep in mind, of course, the infantry that are capping count double. Let me know when the missile is over. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Oh. That was almost a perfect formation for getting destroyed by missiles. But don't worry, even top players, like Tordred has been Tordred, one of the best players on the site, gets destroyed by Rachel for so long. It happens so much that he finally buckled and started using the move planner that he calls the missile planner. Basically, when you're in this when you're like against Rachel or anyone else with a missile power, you should click on the move planner button that's at the top of the screen. And in the right tab, there will be, you can, you can click down for the number of like supers and powers that you want to have simulated on the move planner, and you can choose the Rachel one, and there's a button that says show missiles, and the game will show you where the missiles are going to land. And in that situation, you'd be able to, or using that, you'll be able to make magnets, which is just like clusters of units and sections of the map that you want the missiles to hit instead of your front lines. And then you won't have stuff like this happen to you. But you're so far ahead that even though this is like the perfect missile, doing 40,000 damage, that's not game over for you. You're just that far ahead. Which is kind of ridiculous. Like, this just pretty much just equalized stuff. Yeah, a fail magnet is very bad. Don't do that. move planner for missiles. Lucky Last can be good. The way you use Lucky Last is you're like threatening the super, so they have to like make their magnets and stuff, so their front lines aren't as strong as they could normally be, and then you're like, Lucky Last, I'm gonna win this fight. And it can work. So fortunately, you're far enough ahead that even getting hit by missiles like that isn't going to be the end of the world for you. But it definitely gives Rachel a chance to make it back into this game. She's kind of just completely lost this side, and the infantry are so injured on this side that they actually can't punish you. Especially because you're going to do another Urban Blight, and then these are going to take another 5 and 4 turns unless they get reinforced. Rachel has a lot of undervalued things, like Lucky Last and her passive, or day-to-day. Yeah. Now Rachel's in a situation where she's just begging and hoping that you set yourself up for a missile again. Otherwise, she's going to lose due to being so far behind in economy and so far behind in healthy infantry count for captures, which happens a lot against Kindle. Taking Kindle cities is a nightmare. But being down 4K in value or in income when you're only in the 20,000s is a big deal. If you're down 4K and you're like the 30,000s of income, that's not that big of a deal. But 20K, it's big. Lucky Last has a higher range than the Scop. The Scop doesn't have any luck range. The super for Rachel is just the missiles. I think Lucky Last goes up to like 50% or something. I don't know if it tells me. Lucky Last is like I think a little bit worse than Nell's normal power. It's on that ballpark range. Here comes a covering fire, but this doesn't look nearly as bad. I mean, that still looked pretty darn bad. But again, you're just so far ahead that it doesn't super matter. Looks like that was like 20,000. Still hit like everything on the front lines. Needed to like, usually you like cluster some infantry together in the back, and you can build big stuff. You'd be like, yeah, either like save up a turn and go like bomber tank or something. Your opponent keeps putting some stuff on these cities, so yeah. I guess it is kind of rough for Rachel because she wants to use her repair power, but you also have to always be respective. You have to respect Kindle's ability to just ruin your repairs. Well, this is looking a little rough. But again, you're so far ahead in economy at this point that I don't think it actually matters much what your opponent does. Especially now they're down to 13 units. Plus 0 to plus 39%. Well, there you go. Lucky Last can be really good. Stealth. Stealth is, no, that's good. If you're ahead in economy, especially if you get them down to 19k in income, stealth can be kind of game over. Oh, gotta cope with the... This is definitely the game to learn to use the move planner for missiles, though. How much damage was that? 111,000. 84,000. So is that like 30,000? Yeah. Number one tip is using the move planner, but it doesn't matter at this point. The game is over with this amount of income and unit count. Disparage? Oh. Pick off. Wow, they just didn't give up though. Sneaky stealth. How did it heal? Did it get healed by the black one? That must have been it. Alright, stealth. I guess this is to trap the anti-air. That's fine. Stealths can, of course, freely attack anti-air when they're invisible. They don't take any retaliation. But I can understand this. You're like, haha, I will get a trap on him. I think he sees it when you move past him, though. But we'll see if he got trapped. He might. A lot of standard players don't watch the replay. Hey, it got trapped. That's what you get for not watching the replay. Yeah, this is... And he actually started coming back in the income, but never in the unit count. So yeah, I think that was pretty well played as Kindle. The only thing was, of course, the turn 1 thing, or turn 2 thing, which, if you haven't played the map before or anything like that, very hard to know. And then the missile planner, or the move planner, would be the other thing. Okay. I will look up the next one that got sent to me. Okay, fine. We can look at this one really briefly. Sent to me by Math Blitz, which is Tordred getting crushed by missiles. And then we'll get back to the order of it. I don't know what game it was. Wait, can I do date added? I cannot. Or dread. This will be against missiles. Probably this one. What's up, Shadow? You have advice you want? Do Sonya as Shadow if available. Oh. For who to play. Fog, tier 4 game with Sammy, Jugger, and Flag Band. I'm personally a fan of Adder or Jake in tier 4. For if you're trying to like learn just how to play, I think those are good ones. Personally, I played a decent amount of Grim because I wanted to teach myself the hard way how to position my units. You can choose Jess, that's fine. Yeah, just be careful with the infantry fights. The Tordred BM stream, he understands. He wouldn't take it personally. We'll be sure to show. Maybe next stream I'll find a game that he wins, and we can see how that looks. He does play it differently than I do. But we will see. So spoilers. I'm gonna guess that Tordred's gonna start winning this. He's gonna get hit by missiles and then die. He is like one of the only top players that spams games, yeah. That's true. That's true. So I imagine we're going to see a very strong Tordred start here. I guess we saw him beat Kampai last stream. Ooh, he wants to recon first. Now on this map, I don't think I've shown this game. Or maybe I did like a tiny bit. I did a transport copter opening against a different player. But in this case, it's looking like a recon opener to try and harass this stuff. I think that makes a lot of sense. The reinforcement route is very long and windy through forests and the like. So infantry often tend to take a shortcut over the river, and they'll be kind of vulnerable over there. Wow, Math Blitz with a really early presence in the center. The tank just barely covering this. It's fine though. They're just being very patient with these tanks. Yeah, Tordred's had some real life stuff come up. So he ran out of time in some of his games. So well, after that the recon hit here was very much worth it. It delayed the city for a lot, and the recon did get away. And now Tordred's going to get his own center city. This is a little bit iffy. He's got Copter and 2 tanks in a recon covering it. I guess that's fine. Looks like Math Blitz is just going to respect it. I probably would have gone in for the interrupt, but it is kind of scary to go for that kind of stuff against Kindle, where she gets to retaliate from a city. Yeah, he's okay. Just needs a break. Interesting. So now Math Blitz is going to try and take the city after letting it get captured. I mean, it seems iffy to me. What did this tank attack? Okay, well... That's a horrible move. Math Blitz left the stream. Math Blitz. Did Math Blitz have to go? Covering here right now. You're here. Oh. Yeah, you're just cooking. Okay. So yeah, this is a weird move from Tordred. This is leaving his tank incredibly exposed on the road. All he got for it was 1 health from the copter. I understand that he was trying to get the follow-up to pick it off, but leaving it so exposed like this, I don't think it's even get covered by... No, it'll be covered by the anti-air. But still. That's a greedy Tordred move. Whenever you cover a person's game, the person just leaves. Sometimes. I do get a lot of messages from people then watching just the video itself, which is good. Well, understandably, that tank got absolutely destroyed. I think if I was to do this as Math Blitz, depending on where these tanks started from, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. I think I would definitely use this copter. Oh no, the copter hits this copter. Never mind. I was thinking you can use the copter to kill the tanks and then have the tanks shield the copter from the anti-air. But the copter has to hit the copter. So that's fair. Yeah, I think rushing copters on this map is a good idea. In Baselight in general, copters are very strong. If you can force their land forces to be split between tanks and anti-air, then they're on like a delicate balancing act trying to fight you. And at this stage in Tordred's play, counting on just taking him out with a Rachel super is understandable. Hey, welcome back. It's looking like it's just a giant brawl here, and I'm guessing this is hitting all on the front lines. Yeah. From 69,000 down to 55,000. That's not as bad as like last game, but that is everything on the front lines. Which hurts a lot. Now he can't punish this attack that came into him. And he also has to give up this entire zone around his cities. He definitely shouldn't have used his power. What's his power hitting? Why do you use his power? So he definitely shouldn't have used his power. I'm not sure why he did that. Because he's just hoping that Math Blitz has like a ton of stuff sitting on cities. But he needs those. He needs that double power to to delay these city captures. Because if he falls back now and keeps his power up, he's not going to like lose out on charge because nothing can really hit him. But he'll be able to delay all of these city captures that are about to happen. And give himself a chance to build up. Because now he doesn't have enough for his power and he can't actually stop these. I know he's trying to get the double CO, the double normal power, but the first normal power doesn't matter. Like it was just like a guess in the dark kind of a thing. I also am not a huge fan of base light. I feel like in general, if Kindle can't get an early lead versus Rachel in the skirmishes or get a nasty fight before super, you can't defend your properties after it goes off. Yep, once you eat the missiles. Yeah. That can definitely happen. But what makes Kindle's properties so hard to take is her normal power. That was a good one. Delayed both of these things. It's not as good as it could have been, but it was also kind of needed. But now again, he's gathering up in a ball. Yeah. So I imagine, yep. And then Mathblitz can just pull away from this ball of units. And then, yeah. Bonk. 84, 56,000. These all have 1 hit point. They all just get picked off and by anything, literally anything. Normandy, that's cool. I liked Cole on Normandy. Jess is probably a tough one for Normandy. There's a lot of infantry fights on that. Baseline is... Oh, there he said 2 bases. Yeah. You can see that even if you're a really good player with like tactics, which Tartar is really good with, if you are vulnerable to missiles, you're vulnerable to missiles. The game's over. All right, next we've got a replay from Lazy Boy. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. And try typing in Lazy Boy, see if I've been lazy. Oh, doesn't look like they have a same name. So now the game is lost into the ether unless someone knows their Discord tag, or not their in-game tag. That's you. Indigo, maybe? Nope. What's your... You're the adder on Normandy. That's your name? I don't know if I can cover that game. You might need to change your... Sorry. You have to change your name for that stuff. How are you allowed to make that name? You all saw it, yeah, yeah. Okay, I got one from Yami here. It's probably this one. Lunark versus Albert Wesker. Okay. I can ask to see if there's a way to change your name if you don't want to make a new account. I am but a mod. But I have the ear of the admins. I don't know if they can do it. Probably. Okay. We got Albert Wesker versus Lunark 00. This is a challenge account for Yami Requiem. Looks like he's playing Adder against Eagle. Kampai has made a very extensive opening theory for this opening theory guide, I guess, for this map. So I'll let you know if I see it being put into play. Oh, you're Albert Wesker. Yeah. Albert. Yeah. Of course. You're the Adder. I'll make you roll dice. You can face to the left. I said left. Right? Left. Okay. You haven't seen his guide? It's very well optimized. He even gets a very fancy double infantry boost into the black belt on the HQ. It involves... of course, bringing the infantry down immediately, but also involves a double recon usually. Opener is our first recon, and then there's also a transport copter that gets involved. Okay, this is looking pretty standard so far from both players. Well, except for the fact that Lunark hasn't dropped anything off over here. Looks like he has an infantry just sitting in here. Usually you want to rush this area, so you start grabbing these cities while the stuff you build over here can grab these cities. And that's why the recon's really annoying, because this is so far away from the actual vehicles you build to defend them. So the recons almost always get some really good value. If he had seen his video beforehand, he might put up a fight. Oh, that's right. He did actually make a video with Kampai with multi-topic talk on this map and kind of talked through his opening. He also has a big write-up that at least used to be pinned in the strategy channel. So far, this is looking pretty good for Yami, otherwise known as Albert Wesker. Nice recon value. Only one recon. If you have double recon, of course, at this point, you'd be able to interrupt both or completely kill one of them. And you'll see that there's no way for them to really pressure you other than mechs. Yeah. Usually the recon goes from like this city, and then you can put it into this forest, you can put it into this city, you can put it on the comm tower. Lots of great options. I don't know if this map is currently in rotation. For a long time, it even had a symmetry problem with this forest. I think this forest was one down for a long time, but they have since changed it. This is looking pretty good. I would like to see a mech getting dropped off over here. Okay, there's a mech. Very nice. Especially as adder. Adder mechs, very value. +1 movement is, of course, 50% more movement for a mech. So the impact is very evident when adder mechs get into play. Just lots of I'm a little worried that there isn't that much coming out this way. I feel like this is kind of delayed, but I think it's like there isn't really that much counter pressure either, so it's fine. Well, instead of getting an APC, definitely get a transport copter when you can. Usually APCs are something you get in the early game because you can't get a transport copter. Or if there's something you need to refuel. Huge stream of tanks coming out as Eagle. Usually that's a sign of a more experienced Eagle player. They know that most opponents are going to predict that they're going to build battlecopters. So instead they just build a ton of tanks. And then they'll build battlecopters later on. There was a player called Eagle with 3 exclamation points. And he would do that a lot. So this is a very similar thing going on. Winning these properties is okay. They often can be very swingy. Like if all these tanks decide to come up here, then these properties you've taken will immediately get lost. Against Eagle, you kind of want to be the aggressor, but you don't. You want to look for a vulnerability that you can crack open. You don't really want to have even trades so much. I mean, it's a tough matchup, Eagle versus Adder. You creamed him on Scavenger, if I recall. Me against Eagle? Eagle beat me on Scavenger. I'm awful on that map. I beat Eagle on Marengo and on Static afterwards. But the game on Marengo, he pretty much just been burnt out. So he gave up early from the stress of playing the game at the high level. But he crushed me on Scavenger. Part of that was because, well, he just played really well. And there was also a problem with, I guess, his browser that he was using, where he'd have trouble making moves. Oh, hi 42. I covered one of your games first. Eagle would have trouble making moves in the new interface, so he'd often switch to the old interface on his turn to make his moves, and then he would switch on to the new interface so you could watch the replay. But when you make moves on the old interface, it isn't stored for the replay program. So what that means is I don't get to see when I hit replay, it just skips the turn basically, because none of those moves are stored into it. So I don't get to have the replay function in Fog, and then he was getting the replay function against me, which was rough, I will say. But he also just outplayed me in general. But after that, they then changed it, so now if you turn on the old interface, you can't turn it off for that game. Kampai's opening on this is very well optimized. He put a lot of thought into that. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah. It is pretty easy to adopt. And yeah, like someone said earlier on, the main thing is to recon opener. And then there's other things that follow it up. I don't think I saved it, but I did have a live game against him on this map. And of course, the downside of making an optimized opener that you always use on the map is that people know what you're going to do on the map. So, if you use his opener, I think if you're at like 1200 and below, you can just use his opener, that's fine. If you're above that, your opponent is probably going to expect that you're going to be doing that opener, so you need to have some sort of twist on it so you're not too predictable. This is still in rotation, wow. What's the ideal time/turn limit? I think that depends on the map. Hey, Fluffy. I can never remember, but Live League has the same time constraints on every map. It's just like you start with 5 minutes and you get 2-minute increment per turn, with max turns being 30. We've got a midterm tomorrow? My university classes just started this week. We were way offset. Good old real analysis. Okay. This is looking really nice for Albert Wesker here, or Yami. These mechs are exerting a lot of pressure. They could definitely get sniped because they don't have that much covering them. And there's a lot of tanks here. Lunark doesn't have a recon to give him very good vision, so he's going to have to invest a tank to get the vision he wants, which feels really bad. He's kind of just like tank, 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 tank. Ooh. Oh no, this for a second there I thought this was just perfectly placed to not hit anything attacking, but no, it still gets a nice target. So we'll see how nice it is to have mixed compositions in comparison to just pure tanks. You'll see that it's actually really nice. I would definitely finish off this tank with this mech. But I'm fine falling back a little bit. No, I'm not. Don't fall back a little bit. He's almost got his super. But the power of the mixed composition using like artilleries, tanks, anti-airs, mechs, copters, infantry, recons all together as a unit against just pure tank is that a lot of these things like mechs and artillery are cheaper than tanks and still hit them really well. I am a math major. How am I going to share it on the stream? Oh, you mean like bring it up on stream and go through it. I'm a math major with a philosophy minor. Although I'm better at philosophy than I am at math. But I'm no slouch at math. I'm pretty good. Yeah. Lightning Strike is pretty expected here. Although, honestly, that was a really weak Lightning Strike. Like, insanely weak. When you Lightning Strike, you end your turn and you're only 3,000 ahead in value. That's really bad. That signals to me that you shouldn't have Lightning Struck. You needed to position your stuff for one more turn before you went for it. Not even 60k ahead, I know. Lightning Strike is really expensive. You can't really afford to spend it like that. And these Neotanks are looking pretty nice. As adder, I wouldn't be afraid to, instead of building a Neotank, going medium tank copter and then giving yourself some more money to spend on other stuff. Just because you get the movement boost anyway, which helps medium tanks a lot. And while Neotanks do hit a lot harder, a medium tank plus a copter is going to hit more or harder than a Neotank. And since speeding up 5 to 6 matters more than 6 to 7, and then you're also, of course, speeding up the copter you built, you get some good value. Not that Neotanks are bad. Neotanks are like almost always good, provided they aren't like running into artillery range or something, or bombers. I guess that is also something to also consider, though, is that you're against Eagle. He builds a bomber. Classic thing for bombers to do for Eagle is they run up, kill a Neotank, super, kill another Neotank. Like in this situation, I'd be scared of that, although he's nowhere near his super. The Eagle player is playing like Max, yeah. But that's kind of what they tend to do early on. If Eagle can get some artillery too, because Eagle artillery are really strong, they basically get to move and shoot. So early on, Eagle buys are often tanks and artilleries. And then later on, the air comes in. Oof, that was a brutal snipe of the bomber. And Eagle anti-airs are also really scary, and he hasn't really been building those very much. Because much like how the bomber can run up, kill a Neotank, run over, kill another Neotank, anti-air gets to just do that for copters. Just copter, chain over to another copter. But a Neotank, or a medium tank plus a copter can do that exact same thing. And Neotanks are not immune to copters. Neotanks take up to 3. Very similar to a medium tank. Defensively, they're like just a tiny bit more defensive than the medium tank. Offensively, a Neotank is stronger because it can one-shot tanks easily. Which is really good. And it also gets that +1 movement. I actually put it in the description, Yami. The description of this should have a link to the move, the replay, and also the move planner extension for the website. The one move on the Neo Tank is huge. And I think for a lot of people, the Neo Tank's better. But if you've got movement powers, I feel like you can rely more on medium tanks than Neo Tanks than other players can, or COs can. But it's not like it's bad to build Neo Tanks. I'm a firm believer in Neo Tanks, but I wouldn't say that they like make medium tanks obsolete. Bomber is also a good choice. I'd be scared of building a bomber against Eagle, because when the super comes around, if he has an anti-air within 12 squares of your bomber, he's going to kill your bomber. I agree. The lightning strike does need to be held longer, because it's like Eagle's trump card. I like this lander. This is a great lander choice. You're ahead in the economy. You see that he's pressuring you down here. It's a good time for a lander. I also like that you're saving up your power. One of Eagle's or Adder's greatest strengths is that the 2-3 distribution of his power bars means that he can very easily set it up for chaining normal powers. And then he gets multiple turns with Von Bolt stats and +1 movement on everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is sad. I thought that reached. Well, I guess this would come down to maybe build it in... I mean, that'd be hard. You could plan this so that your lander gets built the turn before you use your power, and then you can do this faster. But the big advantage building medium tank over Neo Tank is that you can get medium tanks and copters for the same price. So you get, which lets you build more tanks and other support stuff if you were already going Neo Tank copter. The other port can drop off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, yeah. Okay. So you build the lander from this port instead. And then I guess his vehicles from here and here. You can. Yeah, unloading infantry is free. It's a free action. You can do it before you move. You can do it after you move. I think you could even do it while stunned. I love this. I love this repair on this fighter. Moving a fighter back for like a little bit of safety, because this is almost like going on a city, because the turn you move it there, you get repaired, and then the next turn before you move it, you get to repair it again. There might be a Mac version. You can ask Damon. I don't know if it's Damon or Demon on the community channel and the community development channel and on the Discord server, because they're the ones that made it. It's very nice. The only thing I don't like about it is there isn't a like damage calculator or anything for me to break out. And I can't do like move planner stuff with it. Not currently available? That sucks. Yeah, the lander should be built from here instead. Very nice. I guess you can get away with doing this as adder if you're gonna do your power again next turn. Neo tanks are harder to kill since they benefit from terrain stars. Medium tanks benefit from terrain stars too. The copter part doesn't, of course. Yeah. Eagle overextending before the super is bad. You don't like to get punished like this. Eagle super is really strong. I don't know if it's 90,000 value strong. Sometimes it is. Also, I don't like Eagle buying the stealth. Especially because he knows you still have a fighter flying around. Hey, you got to use your power again to make the lander work from this harbor. So you're at 31,000 to 23,000, and you're capping another city. I don't know what the cap limit is on this map, but you must be getting... That's probably like 33,000 or something like that. You didn't build a single artillery. Yeah, that's weird. Eagle has amazing artillery. Move and shoot, very strong. Like instead of slamming into your Neo tank with a copter, artillery just rolls up and gets supered, shoots your Neo tank. It's very strong. This is the same reason why Von Bolt artillery are really strong. Because the Von Bolt super lands, and then you move up your artillery to everything that got stunned. End your turn. Everything that's stunned can't move out of the way, and you just fire on them. Yeah. After the Eagle super, and you're still 50,000 ahead in value. Absolutely brutal. And yeah, I mean, this is part of the weakness of stealth, although you did let it go free. But you can surround them. You can even surround them with like infantry and then just wait for them to run out of fuel and crash. When they're overextended like that. So yeah, he's got 20 fuel. He's going to have to try and make it back to his black boat. Eagle does use less fuel. Was it like 6 instead of 8? We can track it. It's got 20 right now. I would not... Don't put your fighter in range of the stealth, though, because the stealth can kill your fighter. So it goes down... Yeah, he goes down by 6 each turn. Oh, don't go up there, sir. Now he's down to 9. So he's going to start his turn. He'll go down to 3. He has to have his black boat in range to refuel him right there. Oh, you have the replacement fighter. I see. Stealths are better in mixed army. Yeah. They're often a nail in the coffin kind of unit. I think at this stage you do not strike the stealth, because it gives them so much charge. I think you just kind of let it crash and burn. Maybe like block it off, and it's 2 tiles it needs to reach the shore. Yeah, when a stealth is stealthed, only other stealths and fighters can hit it. Anti-air can't even hit back. I mean, medium tanks are good. They're especially good if you have a movement power. An Eagle kind of has a movement power. Neo tanks are, of course, also very good. Stealth flying too high for flak, yeah. This is a really annoying forest to stand in. Oftentimes, if I'm in this situation, I need to get through this forest, I use the black bow to reveal it. The dude really likes pushing over here. It's very dangerous to have this kind of like loose formation like this against Adder, as we can see. Well, interesting that you went for the comm tower, but you didn't block. Can this not reach? Leave your power up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can block there. Just take the comm tower. I guess you're scared of what you might have in the back. Although you see so much is down here. I don't think there's really much you could have other than infantry. Oh, he does have an artillery. See, this is going to be a really good Eagle artillery. He's going to shoot that Neo tank really good. Did he actually be able to stop you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, you would actually get it. Yeah, that's a good question. They definitely should not use, or they shouldn't use their infantry before the power unless they need the infantry to get the power. Because you do get the plus 10%. Usually if I'm playing against someone and they just won't give in, usually I just win by capture, which I think is probably what's going to happen here. Unless you're going for the HQ. You can also go for the HQ on this map. It's surprisingly easy to take down. But what I'm seeing is vulnerable is like these cities. Maybe this city. You've got over double his value at this point when your turn starts. So it's definitely pretty much game over as we see. And the mega tank. Adder does have a nice mega tank, much like his mechs and his medium tanks. They benefit a lot from that extra movement. There he goes. He resigns. I think that was well played. I don't even think the Eagle was really misplayed it that much, except for their opening, not going for the black boat stuff, not getting enough artillery early on. Yeah, I think we can credit the victory to the mega tank. He did scrap with you way too much. Adder loves a good brawl. Yeah. And he had some pretty lackluster supers. Okay, so next we've got this one from No. She sent me 2. Looks like it's a Star Flash alt. Star Flash 251. I think this is his. Oops. I wanted to say that this was his high funds alt, but this is standard. Hi, Chantel. Chantel, are you no? Or Nanova? Everyone with their different names. Oh no, it's you, Mr. Noah Crow. This is a bit of a weird map. You are, okay. Well then we will turn you to Cobalt Ice. Make sure that they're facing opposite directions. Okay, we'll have you face the left. Okay. That's weird though. Let's have you face to the right and we'll turn Star. Face each other, okay. Yeah. And it actually matters a lot which one you build from because of like imagery going over the mountains and like vehicle pathing, like key vehicle destinations and stuff. So this is, of course, what you're always going to do because you need to get your neutral base. And there's a nice capture chain over here. I don't think there's really an alternate place to send them. It would be kind of weird to go for this. You could go for this first. And then here. You're like a little bit delayed. But then you get this chain. I don't know. I think this might be the only way. That's really valid. So I would expect most people are going to have a very similar opening here. The artillery opener is very common. Ooh, I haven't seen them. I don't think I've seen the ABC opener on this map. Usually the artillery is used like, you can pressure a lot of these cities, but you can also break this pipe seam. Usually like artillery and then a mech later on. Okay. So this guy got boosted for this. Let's see where all the infantry were. So you get boosted to the front. You boosted down to get this earlier. You walk up there, you walk there. But instead this guy could have gone. So if this infantry had been built here, it could have gone here, and he would have gotten this tower. And this guy would go for this city instead. So this is the only boost the APC is doing so far. For this property, which will get the property a turn earlier than this one. But now I'm wondering, what does this guy do? This guy's definitely going for this property. So he goes here and then goes for this property, I guess. So I'm seeing maybe an acceleration on this property, a 1-turn acceleration on this property. But you have an APC instead of a vehicle. That's a great flanking strike on this artillery. Bring the... Okay, I like it. Like, I gotcha. Touche, you can do that too with the APC opener. The APC opener is from the mind of Xeronics. He did do a lot of experimentations with APC openers. What does this artillery do? Goes and hides on this city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oof. That's rough. I don't know if that's... I guess it's okay. I mean, he's gonna die, I think, from recon infantry. It could have gone onto this... Oh, it couldn't reach the forest, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Could have gone to this lab? Ooh, it could have gone on this city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. That's not a bad spot. Because this tank is covering it. But I guess he doesn't have any ways of breaking the infantry that would be blocking the way. He could have also stayed there, I guess, and just shot the APC. Because even though his artillery is really exposed, he does have like tanks and infantry around to counter hit. So it's not as bad as it looks. What happened down here? Did I mess up how the infantry are gonna end up moving? You went down here. Oh. You went directly down instead of going over here. So now this guy's the one that's kind of feeling lost. Gotcha. Yeah, so this is bad because you're cannibalizing your captures. It's like it's unoptimal because one of your infantry doesn't have a capture to go for. I mean, I do that a lot too. I mean, I think everyone does it, but it's what you want to avoid. It's kind of like it doesn't super matter when you're getting the captures, as long as infantry are always going to their own prescribed capture spots, you'll have your optimal economy in the end. This one has a capture in 3 moves. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to get these captures. This artillery is doing surprisingly well. The APC is being a really annoying blocker. But it's, I don't know. It's always tough with APCs because you send them out there and you're like, well, I don't have a vehicle. I have an APC instead of a vehicle, so I need to use this APC to help me in this fight. And it does that by being a blocker. But then at the same time, you built the APC to like accelerate your economy, and it's not fulfilling that role. So far the APC has boosted a single property and denied a property by standing on it. And helped block this artillery, which isn't bad. But it's like, I think a tank could have done that better. It's a pretty valuable blocker right here, though. This artillery is finally going to go down, which will be a big win. Going for the adder power. Oh, it's for this interrupt? Interesting. You get that kill. Okay, the ABC is getting back into his job. Oh, I thought you were going to go in here and boost to here to help with this giant infantry fight. I do like how this COP worked out. I think the movement mattered a lot. Interesting that you sent this guy towards the middle. This is a great hit. I think you do have to send this guy here, but it's tough not having any pressure on him up here. I'm also I like the recons being involved. Copter has entered the fray. I don't know if this interrupt is going to end up being worth it. It might be. But I think it'll like delay the city for a tiny bit, but he's still going to get the city. You thought everything was about keeping vehicle advantage in the middle. Okay. I can understand that. You have a mess up turn this game. I liked your power more than I liked his power, so that's really good. Although he got pretty good punish. But you are ahead economically. You're getting really good exchanges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As long as he doesn't get his power, then that's almost a free hit, right? Oh no, the copter. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's just because he has his power. It's just because he has his power. We need to get a whole bar. It's amazing. This infantry is just like I'm uncontested and living my life. So you've delayed this for a few turns, but it's going to cost you all of your presence, and that's going to start hurting a lot. Because as soon as these few infantry are cleared up, we've got nothing defending these properties. A lot of your infantry will die here. Or it must be next turn. Did I miss a lot of infantry dying? Oh, no. I hadn't seen his turn yet. Okay. You're at 20. That doesn't seem so bad. I guess he hasn't... Well, he base skipped for double tank. This is still looking in the realm of pretty good game. You're ahead by 2k, but not for long, of course. Went for that kill instead of that kill. I guess you went for this attack because of this guy on the mountain. You're like, I'll overload the artillery. I'll be messing with Commander Wars stuff maybe next week. I saw that there's like the multiplayer is up and running maybe. So I might try that, and I might try some replays for that too. That's a very interesting scoot forward. I feel like you just sit on the city. If you're scared of him hitting you, then you'd be scared of him hitting you with his power. And you're probably going to get your power next turn to jump onto the city, so you're still threatening it. So I'd either not scoot forward, or I'd scoot further forward. Maybe over here. This turn, okay. It does look like a lot of your guys are kind of like trying to wall, and they're also injured. So I imagine I'm seeing some pretty nice chains that he could go for here. Yeah. Yeah. And then the side slip. Oof. It starts the property cap. Oof, that was... What are you down to infantry-wise? You're down to 7? Against 11? Oh, no. Oh, he didn't build yet against 12? Oh, so greedy. So greedy. Like, I'm not going for... I guess you can't really go for the capture because he can just interrupt you. So you're like, I'll go for both of these at the same time. That makes sense. No, I think it's the right play. It looks greedy, but I think it's definitely the right play. You did lose a lot of infantry, but you're still doing pretty decently. Value-wise, you made up a lot. Why didn't you go for... I think you definitely go for this capture, right? Are you scared of his tank boosting over? Because this infantry can already interrupt up here, so you're trying to overload it, right? I don't understand why you're not going for that city. I thought that was the whole point, is that you go for both cities at the same time. You didn't see the copter break. Gotcha. Yeah, that can be hard. You're still doing really well. He can do some pretty good swings in here, but I don't think he can... I'm not seeing a way for him to hit the artillery, so it's kind of scary for him to go in with the tanks. He goes in with the tanks anyway. Well, this is going to be an amazing counter turn for you. I guess you have some pretty injured tanks, though. Oh, so you could counter interrupt from the mountain? But you can do that anyway. Oh, wow, he just lets you take the city. Dude, he really wants to win this mid-fight. Yeah, artillery, very value here. He side slips immediately. That's got to be bad. Because as adder, you're trying to like chain as many powers together as possible. Oh, this is such a bad side slip. It's like nothing done. Yeah. Oh, he's resigning. That's why. That was definitely an interesting game. I don't know how I felt about the APC. He was definitely way too aggressive with that artillery, I think. And then your artillery are so good. They got so much value. He gave himself up to a lot of first strikes there. The sides were almost completely ignored. It's ridiculous. Yeah. All right, Fluffy, good night. You look good at the time. I can understand that. Starflash seems to have some trouble fighting against APC openers. Because I also got him with that, right? I don't even know if I have that game saved on here. A binary star. Another adder mirror. This one will be really short. You can immediately tell that I'm going for the APC opener here because I don't go for this capture. It's like a huge sign. Lots of openers like this have have really early signs as to what you're doing. And the reason this shows that I'm going for this instead of this is because now when this finishes, and I can put an APC right here for him to hop into and get boosted to here, so he can then take that city. Plus, I don't need the money immediately, and this helps me get my this stuff earlier. So there's the APC. I think it double boosts. Unless this guy goes around this way, I don't remember. And his response is a tank, which is, of course, what I expected. Get my artillery to back it up. It's a very nice setup with the a forward base coming online. So you get, like, the APC goes forward and then you're immediately reinforcing it. We got our one. We have our one boost, and then I think I get another boost here, like so. And then double artillery to back this up. His tank just moved here. But it's very hard to attack into this because it's very choky. So he goes double tank against double artillery APC. And then I have a nice little formation here where his tank can't reach this side because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can only reach to there. We could hit the APC, but the artillery would shoot it on the road. It could reach here, but then this artillery would shoot it, and this tank would be able to finish it off, and he'd be attacking an artillery on a silo. So he'd be trading a tank for 5 health on an artillery. So even though this looks fairly open, it's actually very safe and hard to hit. And then, of course, if he attacks this stuff, there's an artillery here to shoot him. Which he then goes for. And his answer to the artillery is a rocket. How do I choose between Adder and Coal? Adder's better than Coal, unless I see a key point on the map with roads that I'm going to exploit. Is how I tend to go. Okay, so he went in. He kind of calling my bluff that I'm actually defending this. Denying my accelerated capture there. Now I get an artillery shot on his tank on the plains, which is a lot of damage. And it's going to really hurt him on this front now that he's down to less than a tank and a half. And again, I have a nice little wall here. You can't hit this this artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't break through the forest. You can hit this one that's on the silo and then get absolutely destroyed by everything around it. So even though there's an entire open front with exposed artillery, he can't actually attack it successfully. And then the artillery are threatening to shoot his stuff, so he has to back up. Well, up here we just have tons of infantry fights. I should have recognized, of course, that I can't actually go for the city because you can just build a copter and deny it. I chose coal over adder on Normandy, with all the roads around the comm towers that you fight over. So now he had to back up, so I can push forward very easily, and because he has an injured tank, I can now do stuff like this. Because he can't break it without, well, losing everything for one artillery. And the rocket, of course, takes a while to get into place. So he's going to try and break through. You can see, since he has an injured tank, he can't actually kill this artillery. You just bring it down to 2. And now he has his tanks in artillery range and tank range and copter range. But because I didn't respect him up here, he respected me down here with the copter. So he's net 1 infantry in this exchange. I definitely should not have gone for that city. And then over here, because he's had to invest so much trying to break my artillery walls, my little investments over here are going to win this front entirely. I sacrificed that infantry, of course, to make sure that the roll, to make sure it isn't a roll for my copter to kill that tank on the city. And now this transport copter is threatening to take the comm tower. So I'm forcing him to invest in artillery that has to just sit here. Otherwise, I get the comm tower, and he can't really afford to do that because, of course, I'm currently winning both fronts. Lots of hefty chokes, yeah. You can see lots and lots of walls. That's all I'm doing. I'm just building a wall, putting artillery behind it, moving forward, building a wall, putting artillery behind it, moving forward, building a wall, putting artillery behind it, or part of it. So he tries to break this. But of course, we don't have comm tower, so it's very hard to actually make this roll work out for you. And this is just trading. This is effectively trading an anti-air for a tank, which is a net positive for me. And then this was a really weird attack on his part because I have an anti-air covering that tank. So I don't know. He also didn't build an artillery because he was deciding that he pretty much just needed the tempo to try and win this back. And of course, since I've already pretty much won this front, I start sending more stuff up here. Start taking his cities. And I think he resigns here. Yep. Moves back here, builds a cruiser, resigns. So he might have a weakness for dealing with APC openers. I think he might get too antsy to try and punish them immediately or something. The birdies agree. The Jake wouldn't be that bad. I didn't really need the range for the artillery. I was more defensive with them. I wanted the adder movement so that I can easily front switch in this middle here. The rocket did nothing. Yeah, the rocket's slowed down by this forest, and then it's really exposed because this whole time that I have a copter over here and the rocket's on this shoal, it's terrified that I just fly over and hit it. So it has to be very tentative. But I think the idea of the rocket is that it outranges the artillery. So if I had been doing a slow artillery push on him, he would be able to slowly push me back with the rocket. But because the rocket was bought so early, there isn't actually enough stuff to stop me from just doing a fast push. Oh, that's great news, Advanced Warrior. And then we've got another game here. I don't know. It just was called Cookie Lamb. It must be this one. We got Nanova again. Your last video, the one about taking a hiatus? Yeah, I saw that. You doing okay? Oh, Cookie Lamb is already the penguins, of course. We'll just make you guys face each other. Sort of. I understand taking a break. I think those are good. And I know that making videos is definitely exhausting and time consuming. You put so much work into them too with like the music and everything. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I'm still very slowly working on my Advanced Wars by Web 101 video. I swear I'll get it done. We got Nanova against Cookie Lamb in Fog. This is a map with a lot of controversial games on it. There was like a Grim Mirror that Kampai was getting all excited about because his opponent was just built a bunch of recons and did a ton of damage with them. Yeah, you swear you'll get the Magic the Gathering write-up done? Yeah. You have 4 to add to your CO music too? Jeez. That's like 12 hours. Okay. Looks like we have artillery opener up against... What's Nova going for? Tank opener. Very classic. I personally think that artillery opener beats tank opener. But it does come down to the placement of everything. If the artillery can get into a good spot where it suckers the tank in and then punishes it, then it's good. If it doesn't, then the tank opener usually does better. Well, that's great news, Advanced Warrior. I think you've got a bunch of choices for how you want to play this map. I think artillery in these center forests are really strong. I think playing for the sides can be really, really strong. I would consider your opponent's comm tower area to be basically a death trap. I love this move by Cookie Lamb. This is a classic bluff. Although in this case it's not a bluff at all. There's tanks covering it. But that's why that works as a bluff, where you take the hit and you're like, whatever, and just continue your capture. That's exactly why that bluff works. It's because in cases like this, where it's not at all a bluff, and the tank would have been severely punished for sticking around. This is looking very much like a standard formation. But I guess that's kind of what you need to do when you're in vision of the mountain. That's a really weird attack. I'm not sure why Cookie Lamb went for that. Unless he's trying to make the artillery stay put there. I don't think he's got the stuff to break through that. So you might as well just not lose infantry. Whoa. Going for the roll? Oh, man. That's a really aggressive push. Would not recommend. Guess the idea is that you've got your artillery in the forest so that you'll be able to shoot his artillery after it kills the tank. But can't he just reveal it and shoot it? He shoots that tank. He is going for the reveal and shoot. Okay. Probably didn't want to do that. I would keep my infantry a little bit closer to home. Don't need to go out because he sees that he's got these 3 infantry up here, so it's safe to assume that the opponent has something similar. The roll onto this city? Oh, because you're Jake and you're attacking from planes. I see what you're saying. I was like, normally that's only a 33% chance. But yeah. Did you have an attack boost from planes? That's still risky to go for. I have also lost games going for rolls like that. Although I'm not so sure you're going to lose your game here because of it. You stuck around to hit the anti-air. You're doing a lot better on the sides than Cookie Lamb is. But now you're really far down power-wise. Oh, getting lots of respect over here. Good night. Did I trace this map how you split it between the players? Well, this is kind of the dividing line between the mountains here. So I'd say it's like this. So you've got contested here, 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 here. Oh, he goes for the super. Why? What's he seeing that he wants to... I guess he goes for this, or no, he moves the artillery and goes for this. That goes in with the copter. Okay. He's going to get some really good artillery hits here. I'm not sure that was worth it, though. I feel like holding that for just like one more turn, so the artillery are in better spots, more stuff's in range for the super, would probably be better. Because this is like, you have to go really far forward with these tanks. Yeah, and there's going to be a pretty good counter hit here. That's a pretty good pick off. It does kind of rely on the opponent not having... Well, it's probably always good to pick off the artillery in this matchup, though. On this map in particular, because there's such good spots for them. Even though it loses... It might not lose the recon. Oh, it doesn't lose the recon because you've got your power up. Oh, it still loses it. Yeah, okay. From that guy. Wow, the artillery shot the recon? I don't want to... You don't want to hit that. That's next to a city. This is starting to look like fighting for the sake of fighting, because there's nothing here to... There's like one infantry that could possibly get a capture going. Oof. Okay. Well, this is starting to look really good. The cookie land super into you was a bit too much of an overextension there. And now you're super winning on the sides. Somehow this property hasn't been captured by either player. Okay, he's starting to realize he needs to actually do something on the sides to get some pressure off of this awful fight. You somehow have an infantry here that's like full health. That's so valuable. I love that reveal. Backing up with the tank. I guess that's to cover this. I mean, this is a tough spot for Cookie Land. Oh, you join capped up there. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has to just abandon this and try and... Oh no, he used... Oh, he can't reach. That's why. I mean, this is definitely what he needs to do. He just doesn't have the infantry left. He has 3 infantry, and he's not building any. You also have 3 infantry. Yours are just in better spots. Very safe. Very much protected. Lots of just like trying to get an angle on this, which I don't envy for him because, I mean, look at all those artillery and all these forests. Yeah. And that's a bold attack. You are ahead by a lot. But that's a really bold attack. Feel like you should lose almost everything here. But you do have these reinforcements. You're just far enough ahead that it doesn't really matter. And yeah, he has to interrupt you over here. That was a very cheeky move that Cookie Lamb did right there. Making it look like the copter ran away. It's actually sitting just out of vision, blocking the tile you'd like to attack the anti-air from. Sadly, it gets revealed. Very cheeky, though. Hey, you just have so much stuff that even though that was a massive overextension, you're still fine. That's true. Jake doesn't mind attacking from planes. But yeah, artillery are really good on this map. It's very choky. That was very well played. That was very well played. It was a very... I don't think I agree with the attack that happened down here. Trying to rely on a roll like that when I don't think you needed to. But then... Elam overextended too much with the super. And you just pretty much crushed him from there because you had a few infantry left over that could actually make the captures that mattered. But GG's. Very well done. All right, we'll do this one last for our last one. I do have class tomorrow. It was a very good read on needing to use go so artillery heavy, but you went. So I'm guessing you went with the tank opener because you were worried about the recon opener, and then you saw that there wasn't a recon opener, and you were like, okay, time to go artillery and just win this game. I like this map, by the way. It does have some, I think it's STA problems, second turn advantage. Because the side that player 2 starts advantaged on is better than the side that player 1 starts advantaged on. I'm pretty sure the STA here is like the inverse of chess. It's like 55-45 in the second player's advantage. We'll turn that frog into Cobalt Ice. I really like the transport copter opening on this map. We'll see if either of the players go for this. I don't know how high ranked these guys are. It's Let's make them face opposite ways, though. Okay. Ooh, this is... I always go here and into the base. Going here into the base is exactly the same. Doesn't matter. It's just different odds. So Kindle Fire goes my way. Let's see. Early recon. The recon opener is strong on this map. But the recon opener is stronger on the other side of the map. Because on this side, this is the 2 base side, so there's often a tank or something that comes into this area. So we'll see if that frog goes for the transport copter opener. We'll know this turn. No! No, that frog, why? So the transport copter opener is exactly like these builds, except you build a transport copter and you don't move this infantry. There's different infantry movements. Yeah, this guy doesn't go over here. He hops into the transport copter and immediately unloads onto this mountain. So then the next turn he can go 1, 2, 3, and then the turn after that he gets to capture one of these properties. So that boost matters. And then the next turn you get to also hop into the transport copter and get boosted up here, and then the transport copter can come back here, either on like unload mechs, or do a boost over here to get this property, and you can either then bring it over here, or you can do mech stuff to pressure this comm tower. But the really fancy part is that the turn the transport copter is built, you get a boost that matters, which is very fancy. Well, this recon is currently seeing nothing, but we'll see what its plan is on what it wants to jump on. Ooh, artillery. This is a good side. But artillery are very good on this map. There's a forest right here that's really good to be in. There's a forest over here, forest over... This one's not as good, unless they're really pressuring you. But the forests over here can also be really good in the middle. Double artillery. That's impressive. You can also oftentimes you can safely go anti-air as your first build on this. Because there's these double airports that just kind of scream build a copter to immediately threaten these properties or protect them. So oftentimes you can just win the game immediately by having your first build be an anti-air as you then snipe their first copter completely unpunished. And they're pretty much inevitably going to get a copter. So even if you don't snipe a first copter, you'll get value. This is really unfortunate. I guess in the future, you want to make sure you either go this way with your artillery or this way with the artillery, so that the recon that attacks your comm tower doesn't see your artillery. Yeah. Indirects in the central forests are really annoying. Get ourselves a tank and a copter. This recon's doing pretty okay work. Building a comm tower isn't actually like a big deal because it's not money. And unless a big fight's happening, it doesn't super matter. But if you keep denying it because of this initial denial, then that's really good. It's really sad that this artillery wasn't able to make it in here in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. You just can't do it. guess you could have gone along this way. That's probably better. You go around this way. No. You just... The artillery, once it gets in here, is really good, but it's kind of awkward to get there. Lots of people do the T-copter opener. Pretty much everyone at the high level does the T-copter opener. I think Multi-Topic Talk has a game where I do the T-copter opener against him, and you can see how I play it out. Oh yeah, I think D just features it in his transport video, which I'm in. I'm one of the players playing out the transport openers. So now it's kind of hard for him to interrupt this without losing all of his stuff for it. All right. We're going to have artillery staring at artillery pretty soon. Aw, that always feels bad when the artillery has to run away. That's okay. Setting up in this forest is also really good. I think you've been playing pretty... That frog, how high rated are you? I think this is going pretty well. The match on the static for the transport transport video, that wasn't an actual match. We just we were just showing the openings and then we drew the game. 900? I think you're a very solid 900. That is a very aggressive recon. It's often not worth diving onto artillery like this when they're just kind of surrounded by allies and you're not killing them, because artillery are fine going back and repairing on properties and still having an active presence. That was a good artillery shot. I wouldn't, in a situation like this, definitely just hit it with a tank. Because battlecopters are surprisingly vulnerable. Well, they're not vulnerable against recons, they're just not amazing against recons. And with luck rolls, the chip damage from recons onto copters can take a hit point off. But tanks just crush recons. You're a tiny bit disadvantaged economically right now. But it's not that big of a deal. But one of the best ways to learn openers is to just look through the recent games on the map or go through one of the replay databases for a high-level game on the map, and you can just take one of the openers that you see until you... Usually, like, Kampai has good openers. Red usually has some pretty good openers. Starflash will have good openers. I have amazing openers, of course, but a lot of them are kind of sharp and specific to certain players, so they can be hard to pilot, which might not be the best thing for trying to learn openers. So if you go to the replay library in the Discord channel, in the pinned messages, you'll see some of the specific player replay databases like Kampai's and Math Blitz. And then I think Rishi has uploaded his giant database of every single league game since February, I think, of this year. That's a few gigabytes large. He's got like a automated script running that's downloading the replays. But for curated ones, Math Blitz and Kampai have good ones. Kampai's are a lot older. He hasn't been updating it. So this bush is looking pretty scary. Interesting. So you shoot this guy so you can clear it so your tank can go in there and hit this. Makes sense. And this is where things get kind of rough because, of course, the first infantry that hits the mech on the mountain is not that big of a deal. It's really the second one that matters. And for the copter hit's good. Ooh, the mid-turn block rock. What's it for? That seems like a weird tank to move first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I guess it's okay because this guy can still reach this. Oh, but it's kind of like, how do you reveal it? I like that. I'll do it. Usually when you're going for engagements, you want to move your furthest back units first so that they don't get kill stolen by your front units and you like lose damage. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess you didn't really need to block rock. I would have been totally fine with you saving that for a turn. But it does also give you more defenses for his own block rock that's coming in here. Although in his situation, I feel like he also should probably save it for a turn. Maybe retreat a little bit. Yeah, because over here he's block rocking to just retreat. So definitely Kindle Fire needed to just not super. And just hold it for a turn until he regroups, and then he can threaten the super next turn. Yeah, just general tactics. Back furthest away units first, so that you can get the most damage in. But at this point, it's looking really good for you. And he resigns. Well, that was pretty well played. I think the opener was, I think the opener definitely needs some work. The artillery over here was kind of feeling lost for quite a while. I think you handled the recon pressure on this side very well, though. You didn't panic at all. Still got your comm tower, so him interrupting you didn't matter at all. And then you just kind of won the fights. I think that's very good. Yeah, on the left, very good. He was pressuring you out of these cities, but he kind of overextended into you, and you got that nice wombo combo. No, I gotcha. You wanted it right here. Or right here. And forest is really good for an arty. I could look on it I could look at the replay on the game on the website, but you can just wait till it's over. On the plains for the Jake bonus. I gotcha. I think definitely in the forest is safer. You do get the Jake bonus, which is nice, but artillery already hit really hard. The weakness to putting it here is that the copters from this airport very easily hit it from this mountain. Which could end up losing you the front if you're heavily relying on the artillery. Yeah, that's fun. And I think I'll call it here. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. We can always look at more replays tomorrow if I've got the time. I'll let you guys know. With the @streamer spectator thing. Very fancy.